Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. Before we get into our video today, our session, I'd first like to take a moment and thank our sponsor for this video, which is Scentbird. So Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service, which I'm sure you've heard about. It's quite popular. And basically, they have over 600 or 600 brands that you can choose from each month so that you can change your scent, like as you go through the seasons or as you're changing your personality or changing what you're, leaning towards or just wanting to sample different things. They have high-end brands like Prada, Gucci, like more bougie stuff, and then they have things that are a bit more niche or a bit more independent, brands such as Commodity or Confessions of a Rebel. It was a treat for me to pick out my scents for this collaboration. I've received fragrances from Michelle Germain, this amazing sugarful dream. It has, to me, like a very cotton candy, like really sweet smell to it. I absolutely love it. It has notes of blueberry, pink grapefruit, dreamy lavender, and French vanilla. So nice. I also received Confessions of a Rebel, Let's Be Real, which has a really yummy warm vanilla sort of smell to it. It has jasmine, tuberose, tonka bean, vanilla, and cashmere wood. Absolutely love it. I also received a fragrance from Sanctuary, which is a really awesome charity sort of brand. This one is called Vaquita Dolphin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It has notes of pear, red currant berries, water lily, sea salt, and cedar wood. And this has a light, clean sort of smell to it. They give you these really generous 30-day supplies. And I just want to share that I only buy small perfumes. Like I only buy travel perfumes at this point. I love having a variety of fragrances. And I find that whenever I have splurged on like a big bottle, I never go through it all, or I think there's been one maybe my whole life, but like all in all, I never go through them all, and they sit and they almost become like old bottles of liquor that are just like in my bathroom, and it's a shame to have to throw them out or like get rid of them, or they just collect dust. So I'm a big fan of the smaller travel size because you go out, you want to have it on you, you want to put it back on you or something. So I love these. I think it's such a great idea. The container, the packaging that this comes with is so awesome. It just kind of like you twist it and it pops up. There's this, as you can see, right, very generous bottle in here. Like I buy these size all the time. I'm just amazed at how much they give you. They really want you to be able to use it in the 30 days. Of course, if you think that one bottle is not enough for you, you can always upgrade to get 2 or 3 fragrances a month if you choose to. If you happen to be in Canada, there's good news for you because Scentbird just recently came to Canada in September. The subscription service for Scentbird is only $16 a month, but with my code here, you can get 30% off your first month, making that only $11. You can cancel anytime or postpone, if you just don't want to, if you want to skip a month, there's no penalty for that. Again, thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. You can please take advantage of my code. Please take advantage of this 30% off if you've been considering this, or you just love perfume, or you want to have different samples, or like change up your scent. Like I get bored of stuff, like I like to change my scent depending on the weather or the season, depending on just like how I've been feeling lately. Sometimes I like to go back to scents that I've, really loved and kind of like a nostalgic sort of element. Then there's ones that I like to try new ones and explore. So this is a great way to get access to really high end, if you choose, top designers, we could say, or indie brands, and just have like a nice collection or sample going for yourself. So thank you, Scentbird. I appreciate it so much. And now let's get into our session. Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I go by luneinnate, and what I'm creating for you today is part of our series, this time working with the third eye in relation to it being under-energized. Please check below if you want to, find out a little bit more about this series. But I need to communicate to you what an individual might be experiencing if their third eye is under-energized. It might be very difficult to even visualize or imagine, and not everyone can visualize. That really doesn't, it is tied to the third eye, but it doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to tune into your third eye, all of the subtle senses. So a song popping in your head, or an impulse, or a voice that usually just sounds like your own thoughts, but an instinct to call your friend, or to, I feel like I want to take the long way home, or these sort of intuitive things can come beyond visualization. But it can be difficult to even imagine or even tune into subtle feeling, to play in these realms of the subtle, to experience something you might enjoy. If I said, well, could you picture yourself happy? Or what could you picture? Could you tune into that would make you feel joy? Or tell me a memory of joy, right? Or what is something that would bring you joy? Typically in an under-energized third eye, it's like, I don't even know. I can't even pretend to experience that. And I say pretend here in the empowered sense, the empowered sense of the imagination is what we're talking about. Like an actor tuning in. When we build the muscles of our imagination, typically it gives a little more room, opens that channel for the intuitive messages to come through, because we're used to being in that space. We're used to being in the subtle space of, let's say, the imagination or of the dream space. And therefore, when these messages, I call them, come through from the third eye senses, such as, I don't know, anything. Getting an image in your head, hearing some kind of guidance of like an affirmation, or beyond that. I don't want to create hard boundaries on what we can experience here. But it's very good to exercise our third eye. And we're going to be doing that and preparing our third eye space to just sort of let this channel flow, let it become activated, not to open any doors, not to force anything. The intention is always what is right for you, what is comfortable for you, what you are ready for. And at the same time, it's not ever much harm to be able to imagine or think outside the box, or daydream, or meditate for that matter, to take yourself somewhere else, to shift realities, even for a moment, to have some sort of experience, such as, again, joy, that we can pull back with us into our waking life experience. So we're just going to set our intention. This is one of the candles that I made for Libra season coming up. And I'm really happy with how they came out. On behalf of the highest and greatest good and in perfect comfort and alignment with your free will, in alignment with what is right for you, what you allow as well, our intention today is to work with the empowerment, the temperance, the tuning into, the stabilizing of the third eye space, to awaken our subtle senses, or allow us to tune into these in even more effective ways, to heighten our intuition, to be able to take ourselves other places when the time is right, to see ourselves in other scenes, again, like an actor would, to have experiences that support our manifestations, that we can bring back benevolent feelings, benevolent wishes, benevolent daydreams to our reality. I'd love for you to set your own wish, declare your own intention in relation to your third eye, your intuition, your playfulness, your creative thinking, your higher mind, this mind of the void, this mind of God that gives us clarity, that gives us answers, solutions. We want to release tunnel vision so they can just come naturally, supportedly. Great. Okay. I'm going to start with this salt, this Himalayan salt. And we're going to focus on remotely and intentionally working around the pineal gland to cast off any shell, to cast off any callus, any calcification that is energetically preventing that intuitive communication, the imagination space. I'm just going to bring you back here. There we go. So just allow yourself to visualize, if you're able to, the salt a little bit in your head, energetically in your head, just gently exfoliating, treating, massaging the pineal space, which is sort of in the center of the mind, we could say. See if you can feel it, see if you can tune into it. Do a little tapping. Just like tapping an eggshell. Around this little pine cone. Maybe you can see pieces of shell falling off and light shining through. I'm going to focus in the ears now, clearing a channel through this kind of bridge, like a arc. Just place these by the candle here. Here I have a feather from the rattle maker. I'd love for you to tune in to your imagination now, to let yourself play play in this sort of subtle space. And I'm going to fan you, and I would love for you to imagine, tune in to the best of your ability, and imagine how strongly you feel the wind here. Maybe it's just the tiniest bit, barely noticeable, and only the very tiny surface layer, like hairs on your cheeks, your peach fuzz, can sense it. Maybe you can feel your hair like moving. So see what comes up for you. But now that we've kind of worked in the pineal and this little exfoliation, we're going to blow away any of that dust, any of those little calcified bits. And it gives you an opportunity to feel the wind here. Excuse me. Focus really into that little spot there. Just fanning it, letting it move down, down, processing, releasing, perhaps going to the bones or an area that it would be best, more appropriate to be stored in. Releasing that blockage, just blowing it away. Hemispheres of the mind now, because we always want to balance our subtle mind, our limitless mind, with some logic, with some grounded energy. So we want to work between these two hemispheres. Just make sure this is nice and tempered. I'm just going to go to the base of your skull here. Just fanning. Just really letting go of anything preventing you from connecting with your imagination. And sometimes that does rest back here at the back of the mind. Just fanning, moving, directing, redirecting, letting go. We have this little cologne sort of water, and this is lavender. We're going to connect now with the subtle body, the subtle form, the dream body, the astral body. And we can connect with the smell of lavender. And this is sometimes a little more difficult for people, but not everyone. Perhaps you can tune into what lavender smells like, whether that's fresh lavender in a field or a scented candle or soap that you've smelled before. And if you've never smelled lavender, just imagine what it would smell like. I chose it though because I think it's fairly common, and most of us have an idea of what this smells like. I'm just going to take a little more. We're going to connect with the subtle body, the subtle form. allow your imagination to work with us here. But just massaging around the hair, the scalp of the subtle body. Massaging the back of the neck of the subtle body. Pushing down gently just to relieve some pressure on the shoulders of the subtle body. Dragging, moving, massaging down the arms, the bicep muscle, the elbow, bending it, wiggling your arms, shaking your arms out, massaging your forearm, of course again, of the subtle body, bending your wrists gently, massaging the fingers, going down the back. This gives me just to get better access. Massaging down the back of the subtle body here. Just see if you can connect any sensations, even if it's just your imagination. Okay, and just for the legs, I'm going to just tap, kind of like tap the muscles in the legs and the thighs. Just shake out the tension here. The knees, focusing on bending the knees, so lifting the knee up and up. Just tapping the muscles in the calves. Again, releasing any tension here. Tapping the bottom of the feet. Focused on the toes. Alright. And then we're going to just gently glide down the body. So from the side of the face here, like this. Just see what you can turn into. Down the side of the face, the jaw, the neck, the shoulder, the arm, the hand, the leg, the knee, the shin bone, ankle, all the way out. And again, down from the top of the head to the bottom of the face, the side of the neck, the side of the shoulder and arm, the outer arm area, past the fingers, down the leg, past the knee, past the ankle, all the way to the feet. Now this side. Just combing like this. Just see if you can imagine this. Side of the face, by the ear, neck, outer arm, all the way down the side of the leg here, past the knee, ankle, heel, all the way to the floor. And again, just right on the side, from the top of your head down to the jaw, the side of the neck, the outer shoulder, arm, elbow, wrist, fingers, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, all the way to the floor. Now again, with both hands going all the way down. Just sweeping. Alright. I do have some stones to share with you today. And I do have my little, where is it? There it is. I lost it for a little while, but I found it, so I'm glad it's back. I forget the name of this. It begins with a P, but it's basically crushed and compacted blue tiger's eye or hawk's eye, sometimes it's called. So I'll just show you what it looks like. Let me just first bring it into focus, and then I will do my best to shine a little light on it here for you. It's truly gorgeous. markings in it, right? That it's been kind of smushed together. Sorry, just trying to get the focus. It's kind of challenging. We're going to take this stone and set intentions, and I'm channeling through the stone here for my focus, but through time and space with the purest intention, honoring your free will. You don't have to participate if you'd like to just kind of chill out and, enjoy the session in a different way. But my focus is to channel through here with this little, almost guitar pick looking stone to access the third eye space and just channel through whatever you need in this space, whatever would be most beneficial to you. Calling in the winds, the expanding wings, of the third eye, its abilities, its strengths for you, so you can meditate, so you can, forgive the word here, I don't mean escape all day, but to escape sometimes, so we can calm ourselves down, so we can be in control of our frequency, of our vibe, so we're not letting others manipulate us. We have sovereignty here in this space. I'm just going to place this in my palm, and channel through. And as I'm channeling, let your inner vision kick in, whether it's words in your head, a feeling in your body, actually visualizing. Petersite or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's from Russia, but I could be wrong. I'm just going to keep you in this focus while I show you the stones, okay? So please don't stress your eyes. But here we have a iolite, and you can see it's transparent, or translucent, transparent, translucent. Iolite stone. This is incredibly powerful for working with the third eye. There's a legend about it that Vikings used it as a navigation, as a compass. And you can kind of think of it that way, supporting your own compass of your mind, your intuitive compass guiding you through the fog, the twists and turns. We're going to connect here again, and I'm going to focus on just channeling through, working with the third eye here, calling in your inner compass, your guidance, your intuitive guidance from your higher mind. This can work when your dreams, this can work in real life, waking life, in your meditations, while you're driving, doing the dishes. It can be on a sense of clarity. I know what I'm going to do, or I know how to solve this issue I've been having. Bright ideas. last stone I have for you is this gorgeous Iolite tower or pyramid. Sorry, the light really does kind of blow it out. So bright. So you can see it's absolutely gorgeous piece. Gorgeous specimen here of an Iolite tower, or pyramid. And I love to meditate with this on my third eye. Just lay back. So cool. Really great experiences. So we're gonna place this here. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a better look for you on your third eye space, and I will bring you back now because I don't think it will be in focus regardless. I'm gonna just hold this on your third eye here. Just connect and channel through, calling in your higher mind, the power here, how you receive downloads. Sorry, I just want to get my fingers out of your way. I'm so sorry. Here we go. I think that's the best I can do. So we channel through and set an intention to receive through this pyramid, guidance, activations, just the empowerment of your subtle senses, anything at all that would serve and support you, anything your soul would benefit from in this experience. I think when we picture the third eye, we think of, okay, I can see auras, or I can astral travel perhaps, or something. But you are sensing energy every day from your subtle body. It's not all going to be visual, as in seeing auras. It's picked up through your, the vibe you pick up on, the feeling. So remember, your feelings are in your subtle body. The hairs on the back of your neck standing up. The communication that your body tells you when it's kind of guiding you some way. And I'm sorry, I don't have a great example for that, but there are so many other ways to read energy, to read the room, to read experiences, to tune into auras and all of the like and beyond, with psychomancy, crystal gazing, divination. There's so much more than just the seeing aspect, okay? So please remember that and give yourself credit when things come up, when you feel a certain way, when you feel good in a certain room or in a certain business or with a person. You know that they have good energy. When you feel tense, when you feel stressed, when you feel overwhelmed, that energy that that person has, I'm not calling them a bad person, that's not what I mean, but it's not vibing with you. Your instinct, your intuition here is maybe to distance yourself, right? These are just examples. Of course, every circumstance can be different. But I just got this in the mail yesterday from a friend for my birthday. Thank you so much, Allison. I love it. But I wanted to just end with a little reminder that your subtle mind, your higher mind, your third eye, tends to communicate more to you, or more clearly perhaps, when you acknowledge its communication. And journaling is a great way to acknowledge it, to validate it. This is something I love to do, whether it's for meditations or experiences I've had. I have a journal that's strictly for the subtle realm and the dreams, and dreams as well. Journeys I've taken, things I've experienced beyond the physical, intentions I wish to set. So I would definitely encourage you to write down your experiences. Isn't this cute? Not that I'm a great artist, but it can be helpful when things are in the subtle mind and you're like, how do I explain what I just saw? Draw it out, even a little doodle. Alright, now I have this lovely, lovely oil from Bala's Perfumery. Such a cute dropper. I love these droppers. Let me see if I could show you it better because it's just so cute. It really likes my face today for some reason. Why today, homie? Alright, and we're going to use this one and this Deshamsia Mayan Copal. So we're going to use these in conjunction. I think, let me shake this up because it's so natural. Sometimes it settles a tiny bit. Maybe not this one, but some of them do. This is a pure resin oil. And I'm just going to anoint your third eye area here. And then your brow. And then your ears, like the front of your ears here, where your helix is. And this side. And then your palms, or wrists, excuse me. And ankles. I'm going to take my oil here. Bring it back. There we go. Oh my gosh, it smells so amazing. It just smells like magic. And we're going to move through, going in and out to the auric field, just creating this very, I'm picturing like water and oil, like moving this field around you as you navigate perhaps your dreams, perhaps the subtle spaces, the subtle realms, a buoyancy, a safe, comfortable space, perfect temperature. Just want to focus on connecting here first. Give me just a sec while I work around you. Alright, I'm just going to channel through into this field, into the aura, into the subtle body, into the chakra line system, and into the third eye. Supporting your ability to fly, to connect, to move, to shift your consciousness to other perspectives, other spaces, even just trying to see the world from someone else's shoes. And I know we truly can't 100%, right? But just even to connect with empathy, and see the world in a different perspective is tuning into your third eye. It's why it's so important to empathize, to connect, to have compassion, to see the bigger picture, to know that we are not as limited as it feels sometimes. That there are people in confined spaces that soar every day. And there are people who seemingly have all the freedom, who are kind of locked in by these limitations, right? So we want to connect with your limitlessness, consciousness, with your ability, again, to fly, to spread your wings. Take yourself to other places, other experiences. Tune in to the intuitive impulses provided by your subtle senses, your subconscious. And just embody it. Just be it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this session today, and I thank you so much for letting me share a tiny piece of your path tonight, and for being such a significant part of mine. My heart is with you, just sending you so much love, and I bow to the divine, and you, and I, and to this limitless connection that we share, that we have access to. The world around us, the world within. So very much love